Good afternoon. My name is Chuck Gardner. I'm the police commissioner here in the City of Yonkers. Joining me today is our mayor, Honorable Mayor Mike Spano, members of our detective division and patrol force, and we're going to be announcing the arrest of Ronnell Jones. After I finish my speech, we'll open it up for questions and answer any questions that you may have. Okay. During the morning hours of July 6, 2010, three armed males forcibly entered apartment 930 at 77 Lokesdale Avenue and engaged in a home invasion and robbery of the occupants inside of that apartment. During the robbery, the suspect announced they were going to kill everyone in the apartment. And they shot 6 individuals, including a 5-year-old boy, at close range, killing Kashim Little, Carlton McLeod, and critically wounding 4 other people. After an intensive investigation by Yonkers detectives, the 3 suspects were identified as Daniel Sanchez, Brian Roach, and Ronnell Jones. Both Sanchez and Roach were subsequently arrested, charged, and convicted of murder in the first degree and are serving life sentences. But for nearly 2 years, Ronnell Jones remained at large despite an intensive manhunt, sometimes involving multiple law enforcement agencies across several different states. Intelligence reports indicated that he sometimes dressed as a woman, and he was even featured on the America's Most Wanted television program. Today, we're pleased to announce the arrest of Ronnell Jones and that he was taken into custody by the Chicago Police Department on an unrelated charge, and he will be returned to Yonkers to face charges of murder and attempted murder. We're very happy that Jones has been apprehended, and this accused murderer will be now held accountable for his crimes against members of our community. I'm also hopeful that this arrest will help bring some closure to the families of the victims in this horrific case. I believe that this arrest demonstrates how the collective efforts of the law enforcement community are ultimately successful in bringing fugitives to justice. No matter how far you run, we will eventually find you. As you can see by the photo of Mr. Jones, the center of the photo is a picture taking of him while he was recently arrested in Chicago, and it appears that he again tried to alter his appearance. I'd also like to just take a moment to thank and acknowledge the efforts of our detectives, especially Detectives Oakley and Griffith, and all the members of our detective division for their hard work and efforts in this case. I also want to thank our District Attorney, Janet DeFiore, and her office for their help and assistance, the Westchester County District Attorney's Intelligence Unit, Intelligence Center, the United States Marshal Service, the New York City Police Department, the Peekskill Police Department, the White Plains Police Department, and the Chicago Police Department for their valuable assistance in this case. At this time, I will open it up for any questions that you may have regarding this
Can you
arrest.
tell us how he was arrested? I mean, we heard it was a traffic stop.
It is our understanding that there was a traffic stop in Chicago. Mr. Jones was inside the vehicle, and also in the vehicle was found a loaded handgun, and he was charged in connection with possession of that handgun.
Was he by himself driving a car?
We believe there were other individuals in the vehicle at the time.
And do you know if that gun is the same caliber as the gun that was used in 2010?
We don't know that at this time. No.
Do you know what brought him to Chicago?
We don't have any intelligence that would indicate any family in Chicago, so we really don't know what brought him there.
Any idea how long he might have been there? Because I know there have been people thought they sighted him here over the last 2 years.
You know, over the past 2 years, we have had numerous sightings and reports of Ronnell Jones at various locations in several different states, but we have never had intelligence or information that indicated that he was in the Chicago area.
Who were the other people in the car? Were they family, friends, gang members?
I don't have that information at this time. You know, again, we'll be working with the Chicago authorities to try to get further intelligence.
Was he driving? You know?
Do we have that? I don't believe he was driving the vehicle, no. We believe he was a passenger in the vehicle.
He was a passenger vehicle and the vehicle went through a red light and got stopped?
Is that true? Do we have any information on that?
No, we don't.
We're not sure exactly what brought the stop, but apparently there was some type of vehicle stop. Ronnell Jones was a passenger in the vehicle, and a loaded firearm was recovered from the vehicle, and we believe he was charged in connection with that weapon.
So
Possession of the
the
weapon.
weapon was on him?
I don't know specifically where the weapon was located.
Is he facing charges in Chicago?
Yes, he's currently facing charges in Chicago. Our district attorney's offices are working to determine whether he's going to waive extradition, and we're beginning that process now.
How many people were in the car?
I don't know. I believe there were more than, he was a passenger, so there were more than one, but I don't know exactly how many people were in the vehicle.
He was a fugitive from justice, right?
It's correct.
If those people in the car were harboring him, wouldn't they be charged for harboring a fugitive from justice?
That's possible. Again, we're not sure of all the charges that Chicago PD is developing, but we do know he was charged in connection with the possession of the firearm.
Was he identified by his fingerprints, or was he identified by the officers who recognized him?
Initially, Mr. Jones did not provide his true identity, but he was subsequently identified through fingerprints, and we're now confident that we have the right person in custody.
The gun, are you going to check, or have you already checked with ballistics to see if that's the gun that killed the people at 77 Locust Hill?
We will be checking into that, yes.
How long do you think the extradition process will take to get
It
him back in
depends.
New York?
It depends on whether Mr. Jones waives extradition or not. If he does not waive extradition, then there's a lengthy process that will take place to try to get him back to New York.
And have you contacted the families that were involved that he was apprehended
Yes, we have. We've been in contact with families of the victims to inform them of this development.
and their reaction?
Obviously, I think that they're relieved that he's in custody. We're all relieved that he's in custody. This individual has been wanted for a heinous crime. Again, we've been continually looking for him for almost 2 years, and we're very happy that he was removed from the streets and will be facing justice for the crimes that he committed here in the city of Yonkers.
Was he thought to be the person that did the shooting at 77 Locust Hill?
You want to take that one, Scott?
When it comes down to it, I'd rather not get into it because obviously it's still an active investigation at this point, and we are going to be going to court, so certain aspects of the case, I'd really not like to give that out at this point.
But he is charged with first-degree murder, correct?
Yes, there was a warrant for that, yes.
The two people who were already convicted, were they convicted for acting in concert, or were they convicted for a shooting of the 5 people?
To a certain degree, yeah, they were charged in certain areas that they were acting in concert, but obviously,
Were they charged with shooting?
yes.
Would you say that Jones is the ringleader of the three, or was he, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Like I said, I wish I could answer some of these questions. I can't, at this point because it's an active investigation still at this point.
Do you know how many guns were fired?
Yes, we do. Like I said, that's part of our investigation. I really can't give that out right now. Once everything's said and done, obviously certain things will be able to go out at that point.
Again, at the time that these individuals entered that apartment, all three were armed. Multiple shots were fired at close range, and the two individuals were convicted of murder in the first degree, and Ronnell Jones is facing the same charges.
Was he wearing a dress when he was captured?
No, he was not.
Were there women's clothing in the car or anything like that?
Not that we're aware of.
So he looked like that when he was arrested?
That's the current photo that was taken just the other day.
Now,
in
his hair was
Chicago.
never like that before that, right? 'Cause
No.
They said something about he was very careful about how his hair looked and stuff, so.
It
maybe-
looks, yeah.
Maybe he heard the America's Most Wanted thing and changed his hairstyle or something? Or-
I would suspect that he was aware of the America's Most Wanted program, and it appears to me that he attempted to alter his appearance again.
Which way was he looking? You saying with the dreadlocks is what he
The
looked like?
center photo with the dreadlocks is the current photo from
Okay.
Chicago, and the other photos
To the left and to the right.
are prior photos of him that were taken here.
As best as you know now, can you tell us how he's eluded capture for 2 years? As best as you know,
Again, we really,
like where are some of the places where he was?
as I indicated, we had numerous alleged sightings or information that he would be at certain locations
Where?
in different states, in Washington, D.C., where was some other place? South Carolina, Florida, Baltimore, Peekskill, Tennessee. We had numerous reports of him being at certain locations, and obviously when we did, we responded, and ultimately we were not able to locate him, and we're very pleased that he was located in Chicago this
But
week.
never Chicago.
Never Chicago, no. Again, we pursued numerous leads, and we're going to try to find out where he was, but we don't have that information at this time.
So with all the disguises and everything he did, and with all the investigations you guys did, it all came down to a traffic stop.
That's correct. That's correct. A traffic stop in Chicago, resulting in capture of one of our most wanted individuals here in the city of Yonkers, many miles away.
Where in Chicago, what neighborhood?
You know what time was it? In
Cook.
Cook County, that's the best we can tell right now, Cook County, Chicago.
The other people in the car, do you know who they were they charged with anything else as well? The other individuals in the car, were they charged as well? Was it part of a gang thing?
I don't know, we have limited information as to what other individuals were being charged with. Again, our interest is right now, we're focusing on Ronnell.
But you're not sure of the type of traffic stop either, right?
No, I don't.
Red light or left turn or something like that.
It was the gang suppression unit in Chicago that did make the stop, so if that is helpful. But again,
Gang suppression unit
yes,
in Chicago?
yes.
Why would the gang suppression unit in Chicago make a traffic stop?
Again, I can't answer that question. No. I'm just happy that they did.
Did somebody have information that maybe he was out there?
Again, well, I don't have specific information as to what led up to this stop in Chicago.
When and how were you guys notified of the capture?
We were notified by the Chicago Police Department that an individual that they believe was wanted here on murder charges was in their custody. We then began the process of getting him formally identified. We looked at photos of tattoos, then we did fingerprint comparison, and were able to ultimately make a positive identification that this was the individual that we were seeking.
And when did this take place? Just real quick, when did it take place, the call, or when did you guys get the...
He was taken into custody on Monday, and yesterday we were going through this process of trying to confirm the identification. And actually, we just ultimately confirmed it this morning.
Well, wait,
through fingerprints.
So you ultimately confirmed it by fingerprints, but did they suspect that he was, how did they follow up Yonkers?
Our information suggests that initially Mr. Jones did not give his true identity, and they felt that he was not giving them his true identity, and upon further questioning, he did admit that he was Ronnell Jones. They then began a search and learned that a suspect named Ronnell Jones was wanted in the city of Yonkers for a murder. They contacted us, we confirmed that, and then we began the process of trying to confirm his identity.
So you initially gave him a false name, but eventually gave him his real name?
That's correct.
And then they checked on the real name, and then they called Yonkers?
Correct. So, okay.
That's it. Thank you.
Just another.